Welcome to Science at FMNH, a podcast and video series that explores the behind-the-scenes science, collections, and research at Chicago's Field Museum. We continue our discussion on the Geology Department's work in Antarctica by talking with Pete Makovicky and Nate Smith about the challenges of excavating fossils at minus 40 degrees.
Undertaking Antarctic fieldwork is quite different from any other expedition I've done anywhere else. Because of the extreme cold that is there, you have to be prepared quite differently. The first stage of that is undergoing pretty extensive physical and dental examinations that you have to have signed off on before you can even deploy for Antarctica. Potential emergencies have to be taken care of before you go. And the reason for that is that there are no major hospital facilities in Antarctica. If you sustain a major injury or you need complicated dental work, they basically have to fly you back to New Zealand, so they don't want to run that risk. It's a difficult place to work. It's obviously very cold. Even during the austral summer, daily temperatures at our quarry ranged between about minus 20 and minus 28 degrees Celsius. Actually working there, a lot seemed to depend on whether we were clouded in or whether the sun was shining and how much wind was blowing, because the wind chill effect can be quite substantial, especially at those temperatures and altitudes. So it's a very inhospitable environment. Well, during the 2 months that we were in Antarctica, we had 24-hour daylight throughout the trip, which of course messes with one's circadian rhythm. It's hard to learn to fall asleep when it's light outside, and it also if you tend to wake up in the middle of the night, it's very hard to fall asleep again because it's bright outside, and sleeping in a tent which has translucent walls doesn't help that. So
a lot of the traditional tools that we bring into the field in other parts of the world just don't work up there. So the best examples are plaster, making plaster jackets. Because of the altitude and the temperature, plaster up there basically just won't set. The reaction can't take place, the chemical reaction can't take place to allow it to set up. But time is a real critical factor, and so you get to the point where in some cases you have to do what I call triage paleontology, where you've got a block in the quarry and it's you can't kind of chip gingerly around every little outline and take something out. So you've got to decide, what do we need the least, what are we losing the least if we have to kind of make a cut through this edge to kind of get this block out of the wall and get it down. And that can be a difficult thing to do, and it's definitely one of the differences that we work with up there compared to a lot of the other places that we do paleontology.